Hello traders, welcome to the TMT Traders Edge Report for Tuesday, December 12th. Let's talk about Bitcoin today, and a lot of euphoria around Bitcoin. And the question is, if Bitcoin crashes, will it affect the equity markets as far as triggering a sell-off? Well, I'd always like to find a little bit of an edge, and that's why we do our Traders Edge Report, and see where can we find any clues that the market may have topped. Well, if you study the 1987 crash in 1929 to 2000, 2009, this sets up to be exactly what it looks like from previous history. So we look at Bitcoin now. Everybody's looking to mortgage their house to buy Bitcoin, which is insane. We look to see where there are correlations. Now, Bitcoin, as far as the U.S. economy, there is no correlation at all. Bitcoin has nothing to do with what the U.S. economy is about. Don't let the pundits talk to you about that and say anything other than the fact that it does nothing to do with it. Now, as far as price is concerned, there's correlation of what's going on with Bitcoin in the equity markets. And I want to show you real quick. This is the spiders. And you can see in this last segment, very, very similar. If I open this up in just like the Bitcoin stock, you can see this is very, very similar. So what happens is that when an asset class, and you could, for argument's sake, say gold or bonds, and it is inversely correlated, but if you have something like, let's say, crude oil, since it is correlated with the markets, have that steep rally, and all of a sudden you see a market sell-off, which, if you recall, last couple of years, oil equities were literally, U.S. equities were following crude oil markets to the penny. And when crude oil sold off, so did the equity market. So it's the same concept here. Do we get that little higher low, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin really starts to sell off? Where does it stop? No one knows. Maybe here, maybe back down to here again. Remember, this is just December. This is just December. So I wanted you to pay attention to Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's going to, but as traders, we need to be aware of our surroundings to get that trader's edge that we're looking for. So Bitcoin, crazy price action. I would not short it, obviously, but I would pay attention to what's going on and give us some clues of a possible market top. Now, here is the daily spiders, and I put a Fibonacci retracements from high to low, and I also have my volume profiles, which I love to see. Now, this area here, if in fact we do start to revert back down again, here's a thin zone where at easily you could see 215. Does it happen right away? No, of course not. This process took a while too. We did see some bull flags, right? Some flagging patterns here. You can see that in blue, where we pull back and then the markets rally. Well, this is this fifth leg up, and I wanted to show you where we are in this fear and greed chart. And when you get the market to consolidate, move higher, consolidate, move higher, that is fantastic, because we have bullish symmetry and we're making higher highs and higher lows. So where do we go from this from the spiders? Well, the 21 EMA at 260.212 would be a great spot if you're looking to buy a pullback off the daily. Of course, the 50 would be a little bit more enticing at 258.38. I wouldn't want to see it break below 250. If we break below 250, I think we have a problem. And if we get something like this pattern, where we get a pullback to the 50, let's just say, and then we get a lower high, and then the market tries to double bottom and make another lower high, but we have a series of lower highs in the channel, well, that's not going to be a good sign as well. That could possibly mean that we are looking for a deeper retracement. Now, I took a Fibonacci retracement right off of here from the July lows. There are many other areas here that we take clusters from, but just for the sake of this Trader's Edge video, I just wanted to show you that this is a good spot where we think in the short term where the markets may pull back to 61.8% retracement again at 215. But let me show you now. Keep an eye on this chart of this euphoria of buying just about everything across the board. This is the cycle of market emotions. Where would you think the equity markets are right now, without even being a technician, an expert technician, or even a trader? Where would you think this would be? Well, since I am a technician and a trader, we are here. We are absolutely at the euphoria stage. Coming off of a weekend, I ran into somebody that I did not know, just speaking up, and they right off the bat talked about Bitcoin, how they bought Bitcoin. This guy was not in the markets. He was not an investor at all, to say the least. So when your barber starts buying Bitcoin, it's time to get out of Bitcoin and start watching and be very careful with the equity markets. So this is where we are with the cycle of emotions, okay? And this is what's to come. Now, how long does this euphoria end is the big $1,000 question. Now let's take a look at our last and final of this market trend is our stock of the day. Since the markets are moving higher and we are in the buy the dip mentality and the algos are all ready to go with continued buying the dip, we want to look for something that's not so stretched and that is still on the bullish trend and of making higher highs and higher lows. Well, I like CF, basic materials. We did hit a high today. Beautiful, beautiful volume. You can see that here. Let me just highlight this for you guys. This is really, really nice volume. So this to me that there's real buyers in the stock. Now, remember, anything can change, so make sure you follow your own trading plan and make sure you adhere to your stops because it is very important for success in trading. Where would I like? I like the 3702. This is based off our daily strategy video, our algorithm spitting high-end moves where the markets would adhere to, meaning price. And that's where one of the bigger picture moves I'm looking for at 37. Yes, it's 42. It's about $3 away. Why would you think it'd get there? Well, I wouldn't buy CF if it didn't give me a deep pullback. I'm not going to buy a 3-day, 4-day run from 37 to 40, almost 41, actually 41.80, and then the market pull back. The top and tail is a big sign. Sellers stepped in, so be careful, okay? But look for the pullback here. We got a small little gap area support. I'm looking for a pullback back around 37 to 37.5. If it holds and it gives me a buy signal, then I'm going to be looking for higher prices. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.